over the last few years, a, a bunch of media startups, news startups have been started, whether they're private venture backed or um, foundation backed or billionaire backed, um, and some of them have become large, like BuzzFeed and Vox and others. Um, some of them are smaller on the smaller spectrum. We are one of them. We are sort of a vertical company, so not meant to be of that scale.
When we launched Skift 2 years ago, the idea was to have an approachable, kind of authentic, creative voice behind what we were doing.
We may have reached some sort of peak on these ventures getting funded for now. I think what VCs and others now need to see is sort of long-term durability of these companies that have been there, results in terms of impact, in terms of sort of business feasibility, revenues, and scaling, and hiring, and all this other stuff. So I think that 2015 will be an interesting year. Some of the startups, I feel, some of the startups that inevitably fall by the wayside, 2015 will be the year for them to fall by the wayside. And some of them that have achieved sort of escape velocity, even though I hate that phrase, um, will sort of go on and build large businesses. I think that it's an interesting inflection time where a lot of activity has happened, and now it's a matter of okay, all the funding has happened, tons of hype has happened. Let's prove our sort of our reason for existence. So that's how I see 2015. If you're trying to build a media company, you have to build um, what's your value to your audience. I mean, one is, in my opinion, you can't be all things to all people. One of the biggest mistakes that media companies that raise large amounts of money these days is they have to be all things to all people because internet requires scale, which means that meaning like the once you take that much money, you have to be at a huge scale that you give returns to your investors, which means you end up being all things to all people.